Hey you guys, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a very quick video. Boom, boom, bam, basically. I have a list here of 16 ways that a narcissist deals with disappointment. Of course, there can be additional ways, but I just wanted to make sure that I was covering the general ways here. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in here. Number one, narcissists deal with disappointment through denial. Yeah, this is a big one. So if someone is in denial about things, they're basically telling themselves it didn't happen as far as they're concerned. Hey, Tracy. Denial, you guys. Because, a lot of people don't even realize how much disappointment narcissists actually go through because of how they deal with it, with trying to hide it most of the time, you know. But they have disappointments in life too. Their behinds are not excused from disappointments, all right? Hey, Sucker Free 619. So we've already went through the first thing, which is denial. It didn't happen. As far as they're concerned, the disappointment didn't even happen. Number two, you guys, I have projection. Projection will sound like you're the disappointed one. So let's say, you had an interaction with them and they're disappointed, you didn't do what they wanted, they didn't get their way. So they'll tell themselves, you're actually the one that's disappointed, not them. Doesn't make sense, right? Because they're the ones that didn't get their way. But yeah, that's how projection works. However, I'm going to say that's how you're feeling. So, number two, projection, you guys. Number three, they're going to do like a fake flex. Something I would call a fake flex is I'm happy as fuck. Like, no matter how disappointed they are, they're going to put on the mask, and that mask is going to make them look like the happiest person in the world. I mean, you'll know better because you'll know what really happened between the two of you or whatever. But yeah, definitely a fake flex. They're good for that. Number four, you guys, smearing. This is like a damage control where they'll flip the script and it's a new story being told, or maybe it's a situation where they're going to spread rumors out of impulse because that's, definitely what they like to do, right? We've all experienced that in the community. So, yep, if a narcissist gets disappointed, look out for a smear. It's coming. Number five, they'll become revengeful. And, this is like lashing out, or basically misery loves company. Or if I'm feeling miserable, everybody else needs to be feeling it too. Or maybe like a crab in a barrel type of reaction, So revengeful. If I'm going down, you going down too, Yeah. And this is why these type of people are really dangerous to be hanging around, because when people can be in different seasons in life period anyway, and they can't genuinely be happy when you're in a season of harvest and winning, especially if they're not. you know Yep. Number five, revengeful. Number six, they'll rebound into other relationships, and this is why you see them run right into love bombing somebody else, or they'll turn up the fire on a relationship that they already have started. Now it's showtime for them and that other person. So there's like a shift in focus. So if I'm disappointed and I just choose to focus on something new, as if this problem is not even happening. Okay. Number seven, this is a big one, you guys. They look for empaths to pity them. Yeah. When a narcissist is disappointed, they are looking for an empath, like a moth to a flame, somebody that they can tell, their pathetic or woe is me story to. This is even here in the community. And I really got to make a video about that. Narcissists do come into the narcissistic abuse community and pretend to be empaths, right? This is a part of them wearing those masks. They really feel that they're an empath. I'm sure some of them even got channels. Then you guys love it. Some of you don't even know. Like, you are full out dealing with a narcissist here. So, yeah, they come into narcissistic abuse communities. This can be their flying monkeys and supplies, their friends and family who, they don't let a mask slip, or they may not really have seen these more unsavory sides of this narcissist, right? But, bottom line, they're looking for an empath, someone that has a lot of empathy to give. They might even do it by going into therapy. They'll go get counseling, because guess what? That therapist is only hearing whose side of the story. They get to go tell the story the way they're going to tell it, and that therapist is being paid to, well, a smart one to know. A smart one with emotional maturity knows there's more than one side to the story, but they just got to go off of what they know. All right. But yep, they looking for empaths real quick. Number 8, the narcissist might actually suffer in silence. And if you think about how they're fake flexing and projecting and denial, that makes sense, right? That's going to lead a person to be suffering in silence at that point, because they're wearing all these masks. They're not being real. So they're pushing stuff down. You're going to be suffering in silence. All right. Number 9, you guys, they're victimizing themselves, of course. And this kind of connects with some of the other stuff. Poor me, I'm helpless. Why are people always doing stuff to me? And, not taking accountability, basically. Number 10, they might future fake. It's not that bad. That's what that is sound like. Maybe they got a disappointment, like you got X amount of months to live, or you have an incurable STD, or they're future fake with themselves and minimize, the true weight of what's going on, or whatever that disappointment is. Like, you just ain't getting a job, or you're not going to be promoted, or this person ain't, you don't, whatever the case may be, they're going to minimize, what's really going on here. And we can connect that to number 11, which is disassociating, and this is a little bit more extreme. This is where you just act like it just never happened at all. Like, whatever they were red-handed about, whatever is really obvious about their involvement, they're disassociated from it. So let's say somebody had HIV. This could be somebody pretending like they don't, telling them, I don't care what that doctor said, I don't have it. They're disassociating from it. And also disassociating from the people who are involved in the situation. And this goes with them, rebounding into those other relationships and minimizing the importance or the level of interaction that they might have had, in this situation that was disappointing and unfavorable. Number 12, you guys, I have self-harm. Yeah. Just like narcissists harm other people, they could self-harm themselves. You don't think they ever commit suicide, or they can't be a cutter, or, be on drugs and alcohols or active addictions. So yeah, when a narcissist is disappointed, they'll probably be more likely at that time to spiral even harder, down into whatever their vices are, Yep, self-harm. Number 13, they definitely do some silent treatment, some ghosting, or like withdrawing or withdrawal. I hate that darn word. I'm trying to say it with the ER. But yeah, so this is textbook. I probably should have said this one number 1, but when they get disappointed, especially with whatever area that disappointment is coming from, that person, place, or thing is getting the silent treatment, or probably going to get ghosted. All right. And obviously this is manipulative and hoping that maybe you might change your mind, or it's kind of like the denial. It all works together. If I'm not giving it attention, it doesn't exist. It's a way for them to disassociate, like we said in number 11. Number 14, they could actually have narcissistic rage. Yeah. Lash out and have increased irritability. And that's the dangerous kind, because now these are the stories that you hear that we're going to be talking about, where, people are getting killed and harmed and shot and stabbed, and all types of evil, vile things are happening to people. That's the narcissistic rage right there. Okay. Number 15, they could actually become more narcissistic, because if you think about it, these disappointments are feeding their already negative sense of interacting with other human beings and how they're viewing the world as it is. You know, their lack of trust in mankind and being able to get their needs met. So obviously, if they're getting more disappointments and they're not having a certain type of perspective, a healthier balance of things, then yeah, they actually become more narcissistic and more entitled to, you know, be devious and to be narcissistic and everything that comes with that, right? The last thing I have here on the list, you guys, is they could just still be relentless. Try, try, try. So, yeah, they got disappointed here. Okay, I can't go through the door. I'm going to try to go through the window. You know, they like to get what they want. So they'll just keep trying, whether it is pretending like that source didn't deny them and continuing to be the squeaky wheel with the same source that's telling them no, or whether it is trying to get that same need met, you know, through another source or another way, right? So that's what I got here, you guys. Denial, projection, fake flexing, smearing, revengeful, rebounding into other relationships, looking for empaths, that's for sure. Suffering in silence, victimizing themselves, future faking and minimizing, you know, the consequences and, you know, what's going on in the situation, disassociating, self-harm, silent treatments or ghosting, narcissistic rage, becoming more of a narcissist, and being relentless, you know, and one track minded. And as far as, you know, continuing to go for, you know, what they feel entitled to have. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, you guys. Sometimes it's easier to hop on here and, you know, do this as a live chat. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think I missed anything here? Should we be adding something else to the list? What's going on? And how's everybody doing this evening anyway? How's everybody doing? Sherry said, wow. Hey girl, thanks for stopping in. I know this is like super spontaneous here. But I told you guys this year I was going to definitely be upping the videos again. So as soon as they come to me, like as soon as I feel like Spirit said, talk about this, I'll just go talk, you know. Aquarian 8142 says, hello, I'm new to your show. Well, welcome to the channel, sweetie. There's lots of content for you to dive into around here. And, you know, I'm basically just trying to help everybody increase their emotional maturity. Just generally speaking, we talk a lot about narcissists, but just being wiser, making better decisions, walking in self-love, okay? Hey, Rachel from Florida. My sister wants me to move to Florida too. I don't blame her for the weather. It's beautiful, especially during the times where it's cold up north, okay? Cold up north. And today was one of those days where I didn't want to go out like that. But the disappointments happen to them too, you know. Some survivors think that narcissists have it made in a certain sense, and they really don't. They really don't. Okay, that's what's up. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It's the bugs that's the only thing I don't like about the warm weather, really, is them bugs. And then, you know, some of those extra animals y'all got to deal with down there. I'm sure you don't mind. And it's making me think about Betty White, because I believe the Golden Girls were like stationed in Florida, right? Rest in peace to her. All right, you guys. I really just banged that out, honestly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to add to this whole topic of, you know, how they're dealing with disappointment. Tracy says, illusions, they are miserable people. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you think about all that hurt and pain that's bottled up inside of them that they're not, dealing with in a healthy manner, how can you be happy at that point when you're running from yourself on the on the highest of levels and you're doing this for your whole life basically? Yeah, that's a lot. All right, you guys. Well, this is going to re-upload. I do have more videos coming. Make sure that you guys are liking and, sharing the content and getting this channel out there. I really want to grow it this year and, be putting in that work to help that happen. But even if I'm helping one person, which I'm sure it's helping more than one person, but that's the goal. That's the goal. Sammy has the questions. Would you say most abusers are narcissistic? I could see how that could be the case. I could see how that could be the case. Especially domestic violence. Yeah, they've done studies on that where they're making the correlations between narcissists and domestic abuse. You're welcome, Tracy. Tracy's definitely one of my day ones. All right, you guys, I'm gonna cut this one off unless anyone has a question. When I do live chats, you can ask me questions before I'll give it a minute to see before I log off. You're welcome, sweetie. Awesome. Welcome, Sammy. Love says, why is the narcissistic family members following me around? I mean, that can be various reasons for that. Are you really private and they're trying to be nosy? Are they trying to, get some information about you, it sounds like? Are they trying to be like you? Sometimes when, narcissists are marrying, they're just following you around like a lost puppy type of thing as well. So sometimes that happens. So for me to really know, I probably would need more details, but those are two good reasons why somebody would be following you around. Sammy Sam says, last question, is narcissism developed in childhood and not adulthood? Yes, it is developed in childhood for sure. And usually this develops because either a child is severely deprived of their basic primary needs, or they are showered and overly given and spoiled rotten to the point where they build this entitlement that the rest of the world, will do the same thing for them. But yeah, either way, it is developed in childhood. And it's no rush, Tammy. It is, you don't have to say last question if you have more. I was just ending the live chat because I pretty much got to the bottom of the disappointments. So that's why I'm ending. Yeah, so there you go, love. That's what it is. They're trying to get some 411 on you. Oh my gosh, I've heard it all. I have heard it all. And narcissists, the funny thing is, they want the 411 on you while hiding a whole bunch of skeletons from you. I remember a survivor telling me one time about a date that she went on with a narcissist. And, they had been on many dates at this point, and she was inside of his car, and he had left something at his house. And instead of him taking a straight route there, he made all these extra twists and turns and lefts and rights because he didn't really want to have to take that survivor to his home, but he had to for this particular whatever he had left there. And he didn't want her to remember how to get there. It was so weird. She was like, I was dizzy from all the twisting and turning he was doing to try to hide, where he was living, just to actually go to the address, park up the street and walk. It was just he was doing too much. He was doing too much. Rachel D said, yes, especially when you ask direct questions and they can't answer with a straight answer. Exactly. Like, they want to know everything about you, like what kind of drawers you got on today, but they won't even tell you something like their real first name. You'll find out, you might find out you didn't never get that. So, yeah. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. But be careful. Be careful. I will say that. I'll say that because I don't feel like I pointed that out enough during the live chat, especially when we were talking about the narcissistic rage and this and that. Everybody doesn't handle rejection the same. And you always have to think about your safety. Especially if they have no priors. You know how many people without prior criminal charges and whatnot, and then they just explode on someone. They're mentally unstable, so you just have to always remember that and don't take that for granted, which is why I always tell you guys to try to be a little more private in your life and not let people in. Stop telling people where you live so quickly, stuff like that. Sammy has a question. Do they really love their partners during the love bombing? No. And that's why they call it love bombing, because it's going to blow up in somebody's face. It's not in a sincere manner. And actually, during the love bombing phase, the narcissist is actually mirroring whatever you like, they like type of thing. They're not really being individuals. So you're meeting their representative and they're not really loving you. They're just loving the feeling, that you're giving them, the newness of things. So they're junkies for the honeymoon phase of relationships before things actually get real, before you have enough time to really figure them out most of the time. So no, they're in love with the idea of you loving them, if that makes sense. That's what's really going on. The admiration, because you're all in ooh and ah with them. And yeah, they're in love with the attention that you're giving them. And, that's not about you. Sammy says, or is it manipulation and grooming? Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Love says, now my narcissist moved in my building with a girl and now she's following me around too. So are you saying like someone that you were dating moved into your building with a new supply and and she's following you around too? That is so creepy. That is so creepy. Either they're being really nosy or they're just being really creepy. I would have a camera outside my door and a little spray of mace. Shoot. I don't like that. She could be reporting back to the narcissist too, trying to find out what you're doing. A lot of times the new supplies, they become the flying monkeys. Yeah, that really is creepy. You're right, Rachel. Queen Tracy says there are so many narcissistic people with channels. Would you take advice from them? They say they're on a path of healing and want to help. Would you listen? I think it's all for attention. Well, knowing how a narcissist is set up, they're going to love that admiration and feeling like they're rescuing someone. You know, years and years ago, before I started my channel, I listened to one narcissist. What the heck was his name? Is he even still doing a channel? And he wrote all types of books. This narcissist is written, and he's self-proclaimed narcissist. But the more that I healed, I just got sick from it. Meaning, like, I was over it. I've had enough. And it was so... Nope, his name wasn't Lee. His name wasn't Lee. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Let me just try to search him real quick. Narcissistic man. And I haven't seen anything from his channel in a long time, so... Dang. It's been so long since I went on his channel. Dang, I'm just scrolling here. He's not popping up. And he used to be, I think he was like one of the first ones to do it. Not the Sam Vat guy. It was somebody else that was out around his time. Not anybody new. And also, I wanted to mention to the person who asked about narcissists becoming narcissists in childhood, it can also be passed down through DNA as well. That's why when you have a child with a narcissist, you could end up having, a narcissistic child. And they'll take after the narcissist and not you, even if you're not with the narcissist anymore, because it's in the DNA. Yeah, that is one of the ways that it's passed down biologically. And I still don't see his channel, and it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to have to really, and I don't even know if I would take that much time to try to remember, but to remember what this guy's channel was called. And he was pretty good. I didn't disagree with his perspective. He definitely knew how they was thinking. But yeah, Tracy. Yeah. She said, wow, yeah. You can become a narcissist through DNA. Especially the psychopaths. And that's why, you just got to be careful. I mean, the kids that are here, they're here. They're here already. But for those of you who maybe in the future want to have more children, please do not have an angry man's child. And try your best not to get knocked up by a narcissist, because you're flipping a coin. You are flipping a coin. You are flipping a coin, and that child is going to wrestle with, some of those same demons. And it's crazy how that works out, because even if that father is not in the life, and sometimes it's a narcissistic mother. So, I'm not going to make it all just the men, but I know that most of my listeners are female. Yeah. And they don't even, and those poor kids, that's why you might hear when people are talking about spiritual warfare and spiritual attacks, you'll hear them say bloodline. They'll talk about the bloodline of a family. And that's how you can see these generational curses. Narcissism is a generational one of those curses. Yeah. That's why they're not the only narcissists in their family. And it's interesting. I really sit back and observe some narcissists in dealing with their family. There are people in their family that they really want acceptance from. as much as they reject mostly everybody else, and they can even do it to those same people that they want acceptance from, but there's a piece of them that wants acceptance from the primary narcissist in their life, or the person that might have converted them over, if you will, or the one that rejected them as a child. It's possible. And they'll take a lot of abuse. They'll make excuses for those people that are rejecting them and mistreating them. And it's kind of weird. It is. They're not like that with everybody else, but they're like that from those sources that got a psychological hold on them. You can have a psychological impact on a narcissist. Yeah, you can. You might be so evolved that there may be narcissists that will never forget your behind. Okay. And you didn't even know that you were that narcissist karma, because you were the one that they're never going to forget. Because number one, you're the one that got away. Okay. But number two, you probably did more of a psychological punch on them than they would ever show you. Period. Right. Period. Sammy says, no wonder my 2-year-old, who is from my ex-narc, is abusive. Yeah. That's so rough. That is so rough. It is so rough. You have a child with an angry man. They have that spirit of anger, that you will have to work very hard with them. Work very hard, but they will have a natural tendency to, struggle with that demon. Tracy said, he'll never forget, and I never settle. Exactly. Nor should you. Never settle for no damn abuse, okay? Love says, thank you so much for your help. Many blessings for your channel, and God bless. God bless you too, sweetie. Yeah. It gets really deep, you guys. But yeah, a lot of times for most of us, it's definitely going to be hindsight, because they weren't teaching this in school. And then a lot of us, to become survivors, chances are we were probably raised by at least one narcissist ourselves. So, it becomes pretty complicated. Okay. You said this last live chat, hon. But I'm glad that if that's the case, I don't know. Are you spamming me or what? But good for you. Get them coins. All right. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop this live chat here. It's always nice to jump in. Definitely more content coming. So be on the lookout. Make sure you hit that bell, you guys. And, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving in 2022. Happy New Year's again to everybody. And I stressed this in the last live chat, but this is a very, very prominent year universally. Okay? Universally. 2022, that's 222, which equals 6, which is like a pregnant woman. So there's a lot to be given birth to positively, Rachel, and everybody else. You're welcome, sweetie. This is a great year for manifesting and getting a harvest, okay? And getting what you deserve. So just guard that, you guys. Claim it. And, make sure you got the right people at your table. And continue to house clean if need be. All right. I'm excited for everybody. All right, you guys. Never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work, you guys. And until next time, please take care.